Welcome to another episode of the Driftr podcast with your co-hosts, Brian Fontenot,
Brandon Boone,
and Kiera Sandoval.
What up, y'all? Another weekend.
Hello. Hello.
You ready for the weekend already?
I'm ready for another trip, y'all. Always.
Just Monday.
Man, I just booked a trip on Sunday morning.
Oh, so
Wait,
you holding out?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Right.
Wait,
What?
It's because I got a speaking engagement. It's not because I'm going anywhere without.
See,
Travel
you
squad.
try to hype us up.
What
Nah.
city?
I'm going to Atlanta.
I thought he was gonna say
I'll
like
be your
Perth,
assistant.
Australia, or something.
Nah, but I'm still talking about going to Egypt, y'all. So I know
yeah.
we texted about it, and I definitely was I was ingrained in so much stuff that day. Like I was setting up by the ticket, and then I was like, yo. But then they had those like Asian destinations that came out. I don't know for everybody that's in Driftr. I'm sure you know y'all saw the air feed that happened this past week, where it's like New York to Asian locations for like $397 round trip.
Oh yeah.
And man, American Express hit me with an offer to give me like an additional 60,000 points. All to do was spend money. Like they just in my inbox. Slid
Really?
into the inbox. Yeah. And then they started restoring like a whole bunch of points from like past purchases. So like my points balance like went up by like 60,000 this weekend. I was just like, the gods, the travel gods.
You owe me a
Right.
belated birthday present, so I'll take miles. Thank you very much. Appreciate
She
you.
said she'll take miles.
Right.
That's how you know we're a travel community and we're travel friends. All right,
Yes.
Snack Attack, I got you.
Thank you.
No problem. Well, let's get things started off then. So, today we're going to discuss the question of the day, which comes from all of our different listeners who have different kinds of questions that they always want to know about travel. And so for today, the question of the day is going to be, how many countries have you been to? Ooh.
So as always, I guess I'll jump this off. How long? I haven't been keeping track lately.
Uh-oh.
I lost count.
He just added 5 more during his honeymoon.
Right. I think it's up to 12, I would say, in the past like year and a half.
12 countries in a year and a half?
Yeah, don't ask me to name them all, but I'm gonna name a few. Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, Amsterdam, Germany, Canada. That's all I can think of right now. But I know it's around 12 though, so I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna try to get to 30 though, by 30. So I have 3 more years. Let's get it. Travel squad up.
Let's get it.
What about you, Kiera?
Oh man, I'm dreading answering this question because I got travel shamed last week by 2 of my friends. Shout out to my friend Jamal. His Instagram username or handle name is Sturdivant for President. He actually came up with this question of the day. I don't know how many countries I've been to, and
Spaghetti.
I haven't counted. It just doesn't like behoove me to count and find out how many countries I've been to. I just know that there are more countries that I have not been to, and I'm more focused on trying to get to those places on my list and those countries that I haven't visited more so than counting where I've been.
That's
So
real.
I don't know.
Do you have like an idea?
I know it's more than 10.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah. I know it's more than 10. I don't know if it's more than 20. So I got travel shame because my friend Jamal was like, well, aren't you like not intrigued at all? Like you're not inquisitive right now to find out how many countries you've been to? And I'm like, no. So they travel shame me, but it's cool because I know that there's way more countries that I haven't been to, and I'm focused on that.
It's all good. We
Yes.
know you've been a lot of places.
You focus
Yeah.
on the places that you haven't been. That's
Yeah,
smart.
I mean, I've been around Europe. I've been to Ghana. I've been to South Africa. I've been to Dubai. I've been to Cuba. I've been to Costa Rica. I've been to Japan. And that was just like in the last 2 years. So, I mean, that was the last year and this year. I've been to Brazil. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good amount.
Hey, you in there?
Yeah, but there's more places I want to go to.
We in there though. That's
Yes.
all that matters.
Yes.
We on them planes. We booking them tickets. You know our favorite phrase at Driftr.
Yes.
Book the ticket.
Yes.
Book it. So, what
Book
about you,
it.
Brian?
Oh man. Well, let's see. Thank you, TripIt. TripIt saves my life because it knows all my travel stats. It told me in 1 year I flew 30,000 miles. I was like, shoot, I couldn't even drive 30,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been to, I think, you see, 17 or 18 countries. And this is all travel stats going back about 2 years, not including the ones I was been before that. So if I had a total country count, probably I'm at 20.
Okay.
In there.
Definitely try and get that 30 under 30.
Yeah.
So I got some work to do, though. I don't got that much time.
Hey, next year I plan to knock them out.
I know, like, do 4 or 5 countries in a year.
Yeah.
We catch some flights. Yeah, Egypt definitely one. Want to do Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I think I can name it places I've been. London, Paris, all across Italy, Germany, Hong Kong, Dubai, Canada, Mexico, Chile. Where else have I been? Been across Asia. Bahamas. I'm missing a whole bunch of them.
I know. It's so hard to
It's
think
so
of
hard
all
to
of
think
them.
of all of them. That's why TripIt does it for me. You know what? Forget what I even said. Just look at my TripIt profile. That's the only way I know. Hey, TripIt is the only way I know if I'm going places now. I even put my speaking engagements now on TripIt because I'm just I have to put everything in there.
Clutch.
People are like, are you going to be here? I'm like, let me check TripIt to find out.
I need to utilize that more.
Yeah, it's free too. So we'll get on a podcast episode where we'll talk about that. But
Yes,
yeah.
because I have no idea what TripIt is. So
Yeah.
and I got travel shame for that too. So I don't know what's going on.
Shout out to your friend. And then also, if y'all have questions like this, like, how do you keep track of countries and such like that, definitely go to our website, go to podcast.driftertravels.com and submit your questions because we want to be able to answer the questions that you may have during our question of the day segment so that you can learn something new that can help you to be the savvy traveler that you are.
Yep. Bring those questions in, everybody.
We like questions.
Yes.
We like sharing.
Just don't travel shame me. That's all.
Sharing is caring, but travel shaming is bad. All right, so now that we've talked about how many countries we've been to and hopefully ways that you can track it so that you don't ever get travel shamed in your personal life, we're going to turn to one of our favorite sections of the show, the cards and points segment, where Brandon and I are going to break down for you all kinds of tips and tricks so that you utilize the credit cards that are in your wallet so that you can be able to take advantage of getting free flights, free hotels, but most importantly, your travel savvy. So Brandon, what are we talking about today?
So today we're gonna continue off last week's episode and talk about Chase Ultimate Rewards. So let's get into it, Brian.
Awesome. So today's segment is specifically going to be on the cards that get you Chase Ultimate Rewards. And so to start things off, I'm going to talk about one of 5 cards that we want you to take a look in today. And so today, the first credit card that you need that's going to be in your wallet, you definitely want to look at the Chase Freedom card. Now, the Chase Freedom comes in 2 different flavors, but most importantly, both of them gain points for the Chase Ultimate Rewards program, which is a lucrative currency for travel. So the Chase Freedom, it has the Unlimited, which gets you 1.5% cash back. Now, I'm sure some of y'all just caught me out there. Y'all ain't going to credit card shame me. I said 1.5% cash back because traditionally the card is a cashback card. But when you combine it with the right Chase Sapphire card or Chase Ink product, you can turn those what would be considered cashback points into points that you can use. So the card earns you 1.5% cash back or 1.5% points when you think about it in the points perspective on every purchase. It doesn't require any kind of like maximum threshold that you can get of cash back. It's on everything. So you could kind of consider this to be your everyday spending card that's going to get you Chase Ultimate Rewards. Brandon, what's the bonus for today?
So as of today, so all the offers I'm going to say is going to be as of today, July 31st. So the Freedom Unlimited is currently offering $150 cashback bonus after you spend $500 on purchases in your first 3 months. So that $150 bonus can actually be used as 15,000 points if you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve or a Chase Preferred card. So it's really a good bonus. And is there an annual fee on this card, Brian?
So this one doesn't have an annual fee, so that's a good thing. Not only that, you get 0% intro APR for 15 months. After that, it's somewhere between 15% and 24.74%. But you know our things will always say don't carry a balance, because if you carry a balance, it defeats the whole point of getting rewards.
Yep.
So the other flavor of the Chase Freedom card is the first Chase Freedom card that was announced, and that was just the Chase Freedom. It's not the Unlimited card. Now the difference between these two cards, both of them don't have an annual fee. Both of them the same APR intro. But the difference is that with the Chase Freedom, you get 1% cash back on all purchases, but every 3 months they have a changing category where you get 5% cash back. And it's limited at $1,500 per quarter. So that might be $1,500 in gas purchases where you get 5% cash back. It might be $1,500 in Amazon purchases or grocery purchases. It just depends basically on the category that revolves every 3 months. So outside of that, it's pretty much the same card. So you can think of both these cards as we mentioned before, as your intro card into getting into, I guess, everything for Chase and getting your Chase Freedom points. But most importantly, it's going to be your everyday spending card. That obviously most people use.
Right.
What's the offer for today?
So this is basically the same as the Freedom Unlimited. It's $150 cashback bonus after you spend $500 on purchases in your first 3 months. So again, this is a good beginner's card. If you're new to the game, you definitely want to look at the Freedom card and the Freedom Unlimited. And they pretty lenient as far as like being your first credit card, your second credit card. So
yeah.
If you're a beginner, hey, go for it.
Definitely. So definitely want to be your intro card. I was mad that I didn't start with this as my first card.
This was actually one of my first cards. So I still had a Freedom in my wallet. I have been looking at the Freedom Limited, but Chase 524 get me every time. But we'll discuss that more later.
Ooh, 524. Dang, I was having a good day.
Okay, so if someone wants to apply for the Freedom card, where do they go to apply for this?
Definitely go to Chase's website. But also, as a savvy traveler, you always want to check to see if you can find any kind of special targeted offers, because even the offers that were being shared today, there might be other ones that exist out there that are specifically targeted that they don't share on the public website. So make a relationship with a banker. Also, go to Chase's website. They have a pre-approval section or a special section where you can check credit card offers. But also, the third place I'll tell people to look is Card Match. Card Match usually finds offers out there that's out there in the sphere of the web and stuff like that. So it's definitely another place you want to check to look. But 3 places that you want to do is definitely checking the Card Match. Once you do Card Match, check Chase. And if not, always go into the branch and stuff like that. So the next set of cards that we want to talk about is the Chase Sapphire card, which is one of the most lucrative cards you can find when it comes to when it comes to the travel game, basically. Everybody talks about the Chase Sapphire. Wall Street's worried about the Chase Sapphire. Amex is competing against the Chase Sapphire. It's all just basically Chase Sapphire. It's got the whole travel game and travel points game that's like on fire. And it comes in 2 different flavors of the card. It usually had one that existed before that. So there's a Chase Sapphire Preferred, but what was recently announced was Chase Sapphire Reserve. So let me take you through the first card, the one that I actually have, the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. So it earns you 2x points on travel and dining at restaurants, from airfare to hotels to dining and cafes. When I mean it earns you 2x points, I mean it's crazy. The amount of things that you can get with your Chase Sapphire card to consider it 2x, it's just crazy, like straight up. I think like they've done gas, they've done parking tickets, they've done tolls,
right?
Bars. Oh man, when I figured out you could do bars and get 2x points, that was crazy, like straight up crazy. And like I was like basically trying to pay everybody's bills.
Right? Yeah, this is my go-to card, so I pay everything on it.
Yeah, so I mean, like I remember for the first time we were in Seattle, and I remember I had covered like the first round of drinks. And I realized my first round of drinks was giving me like 2x points. I was like, you know what? I might just happen to do this all the time. Like y'all, my friends might be beneficiaries of me using my credit card to get points and buying drinks at the bar. So it also gives you 1x points on all other things. But most importantly, if you can buy a round of drinks and get your friends to pay for it, hey, that works too. It also has other kind of benefits. It gets you 25% more value and redeem your flights, hotels, car rentals, cruises through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. So, for instance, a $620 flight only requires 50,000 points, where it should have required 62,000 points. And you can also transfer it to all the programs that we mentioned in the last episode of the podcast. So if you haven't, make sure to check out Driftr Podcast episode 8, where we talk about the transfer partners. Now, it has an annual fee, but the annual fee is not that bad. The annual fee is $95. And even on the first year, the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, you can get it done for free.
That's nothing.
Nothing. Brandon, what is the current offer today for the Chase Sapphire Preferred card?
So the current offer today is 50,000 bonus points after you spend 4,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. So that's equal to $625 towards travel in a Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. So that's pretty good. And the annual fee is only $95, and it's waived after the first year.
Oh wow.
Come
okay.
on now.
Maybe I might need to get one of those.
Yes.
It gets it done. It gets it done. Now, let's step up to the Mac Daddy.
Big Daddy.
The big daddy of all cards. The Chase Sapphire Reserve. Everybody wants to know how they can travel in style. Definitely gonna look at the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. Now, we talked about the Chase Sapphire Preferred. It had a $95 annual fee. This card has a $450 annual fee. But before you go selling your grandmother's kidney, definitely look at the benefits of this card and how it's going to help you to be able to travel more thrifty. So you earn 3x points on travel and dining. Remember, it was 2x points on the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. You're getting 3x points on the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. But you get $1 in point on all purchases. There's no limit to how many points you can get, but it also gives you 50% more value when you redeem travel through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. So that same flight that was $625 with 50,000 points, you could get for $750. You can use that same 50,000 points. They also have some other types of benefits that you can get with the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. You get a $300 per year annual travel credit. So you can spend up $300 in travel, and Chase is going to give you $300 back, which is great. So that means you take a card that had a $450 annual fee, $300 that it's going to drop, means that the annual fee is only about $150.
Nice.
So now you have a card that rivals the $95 card that we just talked about, the Chase Sapphire Preferred, or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now you have a card that really going to help you in your travel game to be able to travel and without you even having to do too much. I also mentioned you get 3x points on all of your purchases, so that's going to help you as well. Outside of that, you have a travel concierge. This card also allows you to get into different types of lounges that you want to get to. So if you go out traveling and you're in a place and you want to go take a shower, there's the Priority Pass Lounge network that works globally. So you can go inside the country, outside the country. It's going to get you to a whole bunch of different lounges. I know I personally benefited from it because coming back from a flight to, I forgot where I was, but we came back somehow through Seattle. And man, taking a shower in one of those lounges and then getting the free food and free drinks and gave some free cocktails. And then, they had like a spa when you get the massage after a long day of traveling. Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I need that in my
definitely.
life.
So
I need that.
I mean, the Chase Sapphire Reserve card is probably one of the top 3 credit cards you can get, especially if you want to be able to travel, but also travel in style without having to take it. And remember, with all the cards, we recommend pay off your balances.
Yes.
If you pay off your balance in the month, you don't pay interest rates. So that's good for you because we want you getting trips and all kinds of stuff and taking and going to all kinds of different places. But Brandon, what is the travel offer for the Chase Sapphire Reserve card?
So the current offer for the Chase Reserve is 50,000 bonus points after you spend 4,000 on purchases in the first 3 months. So it's basically the same as the unpreferred, but you get more benefits with this card. And when the card first came out, the bonus offer was 100,000 points. So that's when a lot of people was getting it. That's when it was really worth it.
Yeah, people.
Right now, it's still worth it, but I'm gonna wait it out personally until that bonus offer goes back up and until I'm not at 524 anymore.
Yeah, 524 kills people.
Yeah, but keep eye on this card.
I'm sorry. Do you guys
That's
have
okay.
Chase banks in Texas?
Oh yeah.
Like the branches? Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing Chase since 09. Oh no, wait, earlier. I'm 06.
So we don't have any local Chase branches in the DC area. The closest one is in New Jersey. So guess who had to go to New Jersey to go apply for Chase Sapphire Reserve card?
Oh,
I'm not
goodness.
mentioning any names. But yeah.
No names.
No names. A girl
Was it
has no name.
Was
But
it
yeah.
worth it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they got the 100,000 points. And those 3 times points on restaurant bills and everything like that, that adds up very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you know what? A lot of people actually notice the metal card. I didn't realize how many people actually notice the card itself.
I love my metal card.
Yeah, that's the best benefit with the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You get a metal card, and when you drop that weight on the table, people will be thinking that you're rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know what hit them.
They don't know what hit them. I started thinking about you can use that credit card as a weapon for self-defense. I mean, I'll just cut somebody with the card.
I just want to cut my bill in half. That's all I want. But yeah.
Yeah, let your credit card cut your bill in half.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah. And so there's one other card that don't want to forget to mention. So we've talked about all of the personal cards that you can get Chase Ultimate Rewards points with, but there's now a credit card that you can get with on the business side that's actually been reintroduced. I kind of think of like that Jay-Z song, Allow Me to Reintroduce Myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like this card went through that basically. So on the business side, if you're looking to be able to up your points game, to be able to travel the world, and especially and do it in ways that are cheap, you need to look at the Chase Inc. Business Preferred card. Mm-hmm. So this card is similar to a mix of both the Chase Sapphire Reserve and Preferred as far as benefits go. So you get $3 per point in certain categories. But it caps off at 150,000. So they include travel, shipping purchases, internet, cable, phone services, and advertising purchases made with social media sites and search engines each account anniversary year. And the points are worth 25% more when you redeem through the portal. So like it's kind of similar to the Chase Sapphire Preferred card. You also got, I forgot to mention all the Chase Sapphire Reserve and Preferred cards, plus the Inc. Business Preferred credit card don't pay any foreign transaction fees when you're going across the country and you're making purchases. So if you need a credit card to use while you're out there, I would definitely look at any of the Chase Sapphire Reserve cards, Chase Sapphire Preferred card, or the Inc. Business Preferred card. So I would use this card specifically if I was doing social media marketing as a business. If I was doing any kind of advertising purchases, I would put like my cable bill, my phone bill, internet purchases, all on this card so that I could be able to take the points and be able to travel the world using my business purchases.
Hey, that's how you do it.
That's how you make it happen.
Yeah, that ink is good, especially when you're the discount on your cell phone bills too.
Oh man. Oh yeah. And then it also has a $95 annual fee, which you can pretty much get through, especially when you think of all 3X categories that you get. Mm-hmm. Brandon, what is the credit card offer for today?
So the offers as of today is 80,000 bonus points.
Woo!
After you spend 5,000 on purchases in the first 3 months.
Talk to me, Jesus.
So that's $1,000 toward travel rewards if you redeem through Chase Ultimate Rewards. Come on now.
And all you have to do is pay your bills.
That's it.
You ever have anybody give you $1,000 for paying your bills?
Easy. It's that easy.
Man, look.
If you're responsible.
Look, pay your bills, y'all.
Just pay your bills.
Straight up.
Get those points.
Get those points.
It's worth it.
Man.
They're still giving out 80,000 points?
Yes.
That offer's been out for a few months now.
Yeah, the 8,000 points offer has been out since the inception of this card, and it's a surprise that they're putting it in because I was reading somewhere on the stock market where they're like, hello, Chase, were you making money from your credit cards? So, who knows?
Might have to look into that one as well.
Yeah, I definitely want this card. The Chase Inc. Business Preferred credit card is one of my top lists. The Chase Freedom card that I mentioned earlier in the show is on one of my top lists. And then there's the Chase Sapphire Reserve. That Reserve is really one I want. So definitely we'll try to get those cards whenever the 524 goes away.
Yes. So. Hopefully soon. I heard they was losing a lot of money right now. So hopefully they can drop that 524. That's what I'm praying for.
Hopefully so. We shall see. Yeah. The 524 is kind of crazy. So we've mentioned a couple times. So with Chase cards, if you've applied to more than 5 cards within 24 months, they will automatically deny you for any kind of credit cards that you apply for. So when you're strategically looking at what credit cards you want to apply for, start with Chase first and then put everything else afterwards because it can take you 2 years. Like, for instance, January 2018 will make my 2 years if when I can finally get off the 524 list. Boy, I might go crazy. I know what 3 cards I'm applying for first. I'm applying for the Reserve first, then the business preferred, then the freedom, and then I'm going over to American Express and getting an SPG business card.
Ooh, and
So I already have the SPG personal. I just need the business one to add it. So
you have it all planned out.
yeah,
Get those points.
get the points, man.
Yes,
All about the
definitely.
points, y'all.
Yes.
Get
What-
your countries up.
Dollar bill, y'all. All about
So
the
wait, would you get the reserve even if the offer is still at 50,000 points?
Yeah, I still will.
Yeah? You wouldn't wait?
I'm all about point diversification. You diversify your portfolio. What I was trying to do was I started applying the cards not whenever I see a new car come out. I'll wait till I get a targeted offer. So like
Right.
American Express last November hit me with I already had like 4 charge cards in American Express, but they decided let's send Brian 2 more offers for charge cards. And this time we're gonna send him 150,000 and 100,000 point offers.
What?
But what they didn't know was for my mentorship program, I was about to have to spend maybe $20K on technology. $20K on technology was 3x points by one of the cards.
Ooh.
3x points on one of the cards got me the bonus. The bonus was 100,000, but it also got me to the secondary bonus, which was 150,000. So off of one purchase that I had to make, the boy rolled in with about 250K points.
Racks on racks on
Racks on
racks.
Boy, that financed my whole trip for the entire year.
And that's why you had 20 countries.
I need come on Amex with the targeted offers.
Come on
Got
now.
some
And I was
things to
just like,
purchase.
I'm like, hold up. How y'all know? I didn't ask questions after that. And then they hit me with yet another offer. I think they're trying to get me into the Amex Centurion program. They're not telling me.
I'm okay with that.
I'm
Right.
okay with
Okay
it
with
too.
that. Yeah.
That's
Just-
that's
then you
my
give me a
goals in
card.
right now.
Represent.
I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to that Centurion program. I'm trying to hit that black card on the table so hard.
Right.
So, but yeah. So that covers it for Chase Ultimate Rewards. If you have questions about the rewards program, feel free to hit up Brandon and myself. Join us in Driftr Travels. You can go to driftertravels.com/Slack, learn how to join, and most importantly, ask questions because we love answering these type of things. We want you to become the most savvy travelers and be able to go to places you want to go, but especially not for high costs. All right, now that you've learned about the Chase Ultimate Rewards credit cards that you take advantage of, all 5 of them, we're not going to take a trip. We're going to go somewhere in the world. We're going to go somewhere hopefully that you haven't been, or maybe the place that you have been, but hopefully it'll renew your interest to go back. So for today, Kira, where are you going to take us to?
Guys, we're going to go back to Europe this week, and we're going to go to Zurich, Switzerland.
What?
Yes. Have you guys been to Switzerland before?
No, my mom and I almost went for Thanksgiving last year until we unfortunately had a death in the family and had to cancel the trip.
Okay. What about you, Brandon?
No, I have not.
So I have been to Switzerland, but I didn't go to Zurich. I went to Lausanne, Switzerland, and that was actually like the coldest city I've ever been to in my life, even to this day. But I'm not sure about everything I read about Zurich. It's pretty much like not so cold. So just in case you ever go to Lausanne, Switzerland, you'll know that it's pretty cold there. But just some quick tidbits about Zurich or Switzerland. You do not need a visa. Basically, Switzerland is part of the EU. They do accept the euro there, so $1 is equal to 0.85 of a euro. So just know that our money is not quite so strong there. However, the US dollar is a lot stronger than it has been to the euros. It's more favorable now to us. The official language of Switzerland is Swiss Standard German. I didn't even know that. Did you guys know that? For some reason, I thought they spoke Swiss or something. I don't know.
I thought it was Swiss francs.
They told, based on what I researched, they speak Swiss Standard German. So maybe it's different cities, but this is like the official language of the country. So it might be in different cities. They speak different languages. Just as far as flights go, so you can take nonstop flights to Zurich, Switzerland, and some of the airlines available to you. If you want to take, foreign airline, then you can take Lufthansa, Swiss Air, Air Canada, Iceland Air. If you want to try some other different types of airlines, Iberia goes there and TAP goes there. TAP's been having some pretty good sales recently, so be on the lookout for a deal from TAP. Two other airlines that I saw that go there that I've seen recently on the up and coming publicity scale are Condor Airlines and SAS Airlines, which is Scandinavian airline. Have you guys heard of that? No.
First
So
time.
I see Condor being publicized all the time on the Metro in DC, and they specialize in going to Austrian cities or Switzerland or places in Germany. So Condor goes there as well, and I think they kind of have some sales all the time with Condor, so you want to look out for that. And when I was looking at Condor's website, you can earn miles with Alaska on Condor. So anyone that's part of the Alaska mileage plan, if you use Condor, just make sure you link your Alaska Airlines number with them so you can get your miles. That's important because I know Alaska has some pretty good deals with their point system. Couple things about Zurich, about what you can do. So they have something called the Zurich card there, and if you purchase that, you get reduced entry into a lot of the museums, and you also get free public transportation with the card. So you want to make sure you purchase a Zurich card so you can get in all the museums, and also you ride the trams for free out there because trams are pretty big out there. A couple things you can do. One popular place I kept reading about was the Cabaret Voltaire. This is kind of like a big cafe / restaurant / club. It's an art space where a lot of artists go, and they go there to hang out, they go there to make art, or they go there to relax, also to network. So I heard that you can also go there in the evening time to hang out as well, so you want to check out Cabaret Voltaire. There's also the Swiss National Museum. Again, if you have your Zurich card, then you can get reduced entry into the museum. But basically, they have art pieces from the 14th, 15th, and 16th century there. They also house collections of pieces from the history of Switzerland. So you can see everything that Switzerland's gone through, the past and everything like that at the Swiss National Museum. If you're an outdoorsy person like myself, they have Lake Zurich. I didn't even know there was a lake out there. I learned so much when I was studying about Zurich. At Lake Zurich, you can get in the water in the summertime. It's actually a very, very famous place to go, like hang out at the beach. You can also take several different boat rides out there, and there are also multiple lakeside restaurants, and there are also a lot of festivals held during the summer out on Lake Zurich. So you can, if you go to Zurich in the summertime, you can definitely hang out at Lake Zurich. There's another place called Rhine Falls. It's actually a set of waterfalls, and it's a very tranquil place and away from all the tourists. I had no idea that there were any waterfalls out in Zurich. Did you guys know that?
No.
Yeah.
It's good
So
to know.
I'm learning a lot out here. And then if you want to do something kind of off the beaten path, you can do the Ghost Walk of Zurich. So they have these ghost walks every Friday night at 8 o'clock. And basically, you go to kind of like a haunted house, and you get to experience basically like a story regarding some type of tragedy that happened in Zurich. And you may see like crazy suicides or executions, and everything's told from a storyteller. So kids under 4 are not allowed. And it's every Friday at 8 o'clock. So if you want to try something different, you can do that. No,
Not
Brandon?
about that life. No. Not that beaten path. No, sir.
After the movie Hostel, I think I can skip that. But, that might be for someone.
Yeah.
So the other thing about Zurich / Switzerland, which you can do, which I enjoyed when I was there, was the food. So Switzerland is known for their chocolate, and they have several different chocolatier stores out there. So you can try different types of chocolate: white chocolate, hazelnut chocolate, just dark chocolate. So you want to try that. Also, it's also a big thing to try different types of hot chocolate. I don't know if you guys are into that, but hot chocolate is a big deal out there. I would definitely do that in the wintertime. Another big thing to do out there is try the champagne truffles. That sounded very tasty. Another thing is macaroons. I know, Brian, you like the macaroons. And I didn't know this, but allegedly or supposedly, Switzerland is home to muesli. So they have different types of muesli out there. And I love muesli, especially with yogurt. So you can try that as well. And then, you can definitely have some really good fondue while you're in Switzerland. They have different types of cheeses. Every type of cheese you can imagine is out there. So, when they have the cold winter nights, fondue is definitely what you want to eat. When I was out there, the family that I stayed with, they had a fondue evening, and it was like some of the best cheese I've ever had. Also, you can pair your fondue with some great wine. Apparently, they have a good wine scene out there. And then if you want to try some local favorites, they have two things that are pretty famous out there. One is called, and excuse my pronunciation of this, Getschnitzels, which is veal and wine sauce. I don't know if you guys heard of that. No?
Nah.
And the other one is called Rosti, which is grated potatoes, and that just look like hash browns to me.
Oh.
So
I
smothered,
can do
covered,
that.
chunk, dunked, all that stuff. You can probably get it like that, like your Waffle House. So you can hang out at, Lake Zurich. You can hang out at the Scary Hotel place. You can walk around and eat the finest chocolate, have the best fondue, while also hanging out at the museums or hanging out at Cabaret Voltaire.
Switzerland
So.
sounds very interesting.
I would like to go back to Switzerland and go skiing. I've seen some
Yeah.
really nice pictures,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
might have to make this happen.
Let's do it.
Man, you're making me reminisce of the trip that I could have had.
Right.
Oh man.
When I went to Switzerland, it was freezing cold. It was like the coldest weather I've ever experienced, but everyone was really, really nice. And it kind of felt like it was just Christmas time, like every single day. Like it was snowy and dark and cold. And, the wind was blowing, the snow was blowing the opposite way. But they had like a lot of dark lights and everything like that. But everyone was really nice. They had a big Olympic museum there in Lausanne. Olympic Museum. And that was pretty interesting. I never seen anything like that before. But I would definitely go back to Zurich. I had a really good time.
Good to know.
Yes. So you guys go to Zurich. Let us know what you experience. Let us know what you think about the city. We love to hear your feedback.
Right.
Definitely do.
Post your pictures on IG.
Post
Yes.
them on IG. Make sure to tag, put your Drifter Travels in the hashtags so that we can see your pictures and share them out. All right. So we got to travel to Switzerland. Thank you, Kiera. We've talked about cards and points, focusing on specifically the Chase Ultimate Rewards credit cards. We've even given you a couple of insights into how we remember the countries that we go to, if we don't, or if you do. Now, we're going to get into our last segment of the podcast show where we talk about things that matter most to you, our open discussion segment. And so for today, the focus of today's discussion is going to be a debate and conversation regarding rental cars versus public transportation when you travel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got questions now. I got a lot of questions. I just thought of something I didn't even think about in the beginning of it.
What?
Oh, well, you include Uber as part of public transportation?
Oh. Yeah.
Maybe.
I would say.
What about you, Snack Attack? What do you think?
That Uber is part of.
Public transportation? Snack Attack gave me the face right now in the studio. She like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
It's not a rental car.
Yeah, no.
I don't.
Is it?
Is it
Oh.
public transportation?
Those surge prices make it like a rental car.
Come on now.
My bad.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. No, it's not public transportation because not everybody can have Uber.
Snack Attack has spoken.
Why can't everybody have Uber?
Everybody can.
People get kicked off Uber. They don't have a car to put on Uber. They don't want to, put their information out there to Uber.
True.
Uber tracks a lot of stuff that you do.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Like the whole world. Google.
It's a whole new world.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But as far as the rental cars versus public transportation, I usually do public transportation. But then it really just depends on the trip, on the destination. Like, if it involves a lot of traveling and, like, you sightseeing and you need a car, it'd be better off with a car, then I rent a car. But I like to mostly deal with public transportation because people drive crazy. and don't know
You
how
think
to
people drive crazy at home? Wait till you go into another country.
Right.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I thought I was gonna die when we were in Brazil. The
Stuff
taxi cab
changes.
driver was whipping us back and forth. My neck had
right.
whiplash.
So I think it's safer for public transportation. But I did rent a car in Curacao, but
Oh,
I don't know. It was crazy though. They have these like roundabouts. It's just so weird. So I mean, we saved a lot of money, but I would still rather public transportation.
Put your life in somebody else's hand,
Right.
not your own.
So I can sue them.
Come on now. What about you, Snack Attack? Well, what do you usually do when you travel?
so I just started using Uber outside of the United States. I feel
Okay.
pretty safe with it, but I think it's going to depend on what country I'm going to and who I'm with. I, if Uber is in Brazil, I'm not going to take Uber in Brazil unless I'm with like a big burly man that can protect me. Um, but
Hey.
yeah, so I rented a car in Dubai, and I was so scared to drive out there because there's like Bentleys and Phantoms and R8s everywhere, and I was like, I don't want to hit anything with this Nissan Versa that I have. And I was scared that, I was going to do something to the rental car. So when I returned the rental car, we're running back to the airport. The guy at the rental car place is like, you messed up the hubcap. I'm like, no, I didn't. The hubcap was like that already. So we're sitting there fussing for about 30, 45 minutes. I'm like trying to pay him off so he doesn't try to charge me like $5,000 for a hubcap, literally a hubcap. So my friend's like, look, he's just going to charge you what he charges you. We got to go. We got to catch this flight. So we just had to like beg him not to charge us for the hubcap. And he was like, I'll see what I can do. And I had to like wink at him and wave and then, run and catch my flight. And luckily he didn't charge me, but I just don't want to deal with that. Like you're
Yeah.
begging somebody in another country to
Right.
to help you out or whatever. And everybody drives differently in different countries. Because I know they drive crazy in Brazil, so I'm just very weary about driving other countries. But we had to drive in Dubai because I wanted to go to the mosque, and we just didn't have enough time. In Abu Dhabi, I was trying. The reason why I rented a car was to go to Abu Dhabi. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna be very very selective about where I rent a car next time in other countries.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Like in Curacao, like I know, like I didn't fill up before I returned the car, and I know they tax prices, but they try to charge me $80 for a half a tank of gas.
What?
Yeah, like come on. So I just
Where'd they do that at?
right. So I just grabbed the keys and I said, I'll be back." I just fill the car myself, so it's not that I'm not about to pay $80 like for a half a tank of
Hold on.
gas.
Who was the rental company that you rented with?
It was budget
Uh,
through Expedia. They had the cheapest, so
no wonder they
I
had
went
a
with it.
cheap rate so they could charge you on the gas.
They tried to. No.
So how did you get out of that?
I got
You
the
told
keys
them,
back.
"No."
Yeah, I got the keys back and left and filled up myself and just came back. I had to go
Okay.
to ATM though. That's why I didn't originally fill it up because all the gas stations only took cash. So I was like, look, I'll just do it. But when they say $80, I said, nope. Found the ATM.
Oh, no.
And I grabbed the keys back out and I left.
Tipped
I
out.
came right back.
So were there a lot of gas stations in Curacao? And you just had to
there was
find
a few.
one?
They're just so weird, yeah. Like I said, and they didn't have like ATMs at the gas station, so I mean, it was just so weird
Okay.
situation. Then a guy outside tried to hustle me like, "Look, just give me $20, and then I can say you filled it up." I was like,
No.
"I don't have cash."
Of course,
And
he
that
wants
just seemed
American
risky.
dollars.
Right. So I mean, it was just so much going on. So like you said, I'll just be careful and mindful next time I rent a car.
So Brian, what about you?
Man. So I think I try to always do public transportation. Like, especially when I go on group trips, I notice that we sometimes get rental cars. Every time I've gotten a rental car, I always have an interesting story.
See.
Now that I think about it, like other times I like public transportation because then you get to see like the city and stuff like that, and I feel like I'm one with the people. But then I carry too much stuff because I'm team check bag, so people are like no, we need to all sit together. I'm like, nah, I just want to ride the public transportation. Say I did it.
Yeah.
You rent a car, like I can rent a car anywhere. That's always my thing. So the times I've rented a car: Ibiza, Spain, Florence, Italy, and what was the last place that we just went to in Greece? What's that last? Mykonos, Greece. Ibiza, Spain. Followed GPS, and it drove me all the way up this hill. And the hill was like so steep that you could only drive forward. When we got to the top of the hill, there was no more road. Like all it was like looking at the edge of the cliff. And then people started coming out and yelling at us. And they were yelling in some language that wasn't Spanish or English. And I think they were trying to help us, but we were so terrified because they were yelling at us. And then I was going down a steep incline in reverse. And I was like, oh, I'm about to scratch up the car. I'm about to mess up the back bumper. So we got them yelling, and then the yelling turned into a community that gathered outside the car.
What?
And I was just like moving back, scared to move back. And so finally I drove the car in reverse and reversed my way all the way down a hill that was like super steep. I was just like, yeah, I'm never doing this again. So fast forward to Italy. Drove from Florence to Pisa to go see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Following GPS and directions. It was cool, you know what I'm saying? I took a couple Snapchats, was playing some Future while driving, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in America. I feel like I'm thugging. You know what I'm saying? And so we get all the way to Leaning Tower of Pisa. And I guess I took a wrong turn because when I turned in through this gate, all of a sudden we saw was 5 officers with assault rifles pointed at my car. I was just like, whoa, brother. Sorry, we made a mistake. And we had to reverse again. See, reversing is part of my life. You make a mistake, you get to rebound from it by one reverse. And then you correct yourself. Story of anybody who's ever tried to succeed, failed, and succeed. And then last, let's see. Oh, Mykonos. The time where I told all my friends I knew how to drive stick.
So you're trying to flex.
Boy, I learned how to drive stick within 5 minutes on YouTube.
What?
Had everybody fooled that I had never driven stick before, except for one person.
You learn how to drive stick on YouTube. Okay, but go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm trying to process this.
Learn how to drive stick on YouTube. Man, it just worked
millennials.
out. And so we're driving throughout the whole thing. But then the thing was getting it up the hill. After the first hour, getting up the hill was hard. But within the first 6 hours, I'd already mastered it. Switching in gears. Now, I still got a lot of ways to go. But, man, we were driving all around the city. But then there came the time when we were trying to leave and get to our boat to go to Santorini. And we're supposed to drop off the car by the old port. So old port is on the old part of town. And the old part of town seems to think that roads just need to converge and converge and converge until you can't get a car through them. But it's a road. So we ended up driving according to where the GPS or Google Maps. And yes, I have to shout out Google Maps because it failed me. Where Google Maps told us to go. And next thing you know, the road got so narrow that the car couldn't get through and we were stuck. And I still hadn't mastered reverse just too much yet in the car. So I had to figure out how to reverse a car all the way for half a mile and not have it hit anything. And I'm in a big van because there was 6 of us. So more of my stories is take public transportation.
So, yeah. So I'm guessing we all pretty much team public transportation on this one.
I mean, I think it's cool though. Say you drove in another city and all that.
Yeah. Like I say, it just depends. But mainly, I would take the public transportation.
Public transportation saves you a lot of trouble. Especially not getting shot at, not getting yelled at, and not getting your car stuck between a rock and another rock.
And not destroying your rental car.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not even going to talk about insurance and brakes and stuff.
But in the spirit of today's Chase Ultimate Rewards cards, 2 of the things I forgot to mention is that the Chase Sapphire Reserve and Preferred give you primary car insurance. So if you were in all 3 of my cases, and something happened to your car where it's going to got shot up, or it got yelled at and attacked, or if it got hit by a rock, all those things are covered. Hopefully. I'm using air quotes here. Y'all can't see me in the studio. But those things, primary insurance means that you won't have to go get your personal insurance. It also does not mean that you go out and get rental cars and destroy them either. So we are not advocating that. But just keep that in mind. Put all of your car rental purchases on your Sapphire cards, and you might get 2x and 3x points out of it.
Bam.
So, but do public transportation, please. Save your life. Well, it's been another good show. We hope that you've enjoyed it. We hope you've learned a lot. Hope, first of all, that you take public transportation everywhere you go, or take Uber. Just like be in somebody else's car. Just don't drive because people drive weird in other countries and you
Call
never
me
know.
an Uber.
Yeah, call Uber, call Lyft,
Or
call
Team Lyft.
X Taxi, or whatever it is that you may use.
Lyft.
Uber. I use Uber, man. I'm sorry.
You're supposed to be protesting an Uber.
No, I don't. I get my points. Starwood gives me 5x points for every Uber dollar I spend when I go on Starwood
Wow.
on trips. So, like, sorry, I'm incentivized. I only get 3x Delta points when I drive Lyft. So, sorry. We hope that you enjoyed your trip to Switzerland. Learn a lot about the Chase Ultimate Rewards cards, but most importantly, you know what countries you've been to, so that you don't get shamed like Snack Attack did.
I sure did.
So, it's been another fun episode of the Driftr Podcast. We hope that you've enjoyed tuning in. Leave us comments and reviews across iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, wherever you listen to us, even on our website at driftertravels.com. We want to be able to hear kind of your thoughts and feedback. We also want to have you on the show and hear your questions and comments. So if you have a submission for a question of the day, or you want to have something that you want us to discuss during the open discussion, please go to podcast.driftertravels.com. Leave your submissions, and we'll be able to include those things on the next episode of the Driftr Podcast. If you haven't already, join us in our travel community at driftertravels.com/Slack. This is our platform to be able to chat with all kinds of different travelers. There are thousands and thousands of travelers, all from all over the world, not even just the United States. And we want to be able to kind of hear from you, get your unique experiences, and connect with you as much as possible. So we definitely look forward to having you on another podcast through your thoughts and ideas, or connecting to you through our social media channels, or connecting you through our Slack community. But it's been another podcast episode. Share it out with all of your friends. Until we see you next time, this is your co-host, Brian Fontenot.
Brandon Boone.
And Kiera Sandoval.
We out.
Peace.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Brian said peace 2 weeks in a row. Hold up.